For months, Robert Monroe's logbook remained entirely blank. He lived the grazing principle, a quiet, clinical waiting period where he monitored his daily life for a signal that simply didn't arrive. At 11 o'clock on an ordinary morning, an unexplained drowsiness forced him to a bed he didn't feel he needed. The moment he relaxed, a clean, unmistakable signal triggered a separation, sliding his translucent form free from the physical body. His guides greeted him as a shaman and offered a final choice: permanent release from his physical shell. Monroe declined. He chose to remain tethered to Earth simply because he was curious to see what would happen tomorrow. This foundational decision, choosing curiosity over departure, positioned Monroe as a deliberate participant in a looming cosmic event. Shifting to the outermost rim of the local energy system, Monroe searched for familiar associates, but found only an immense, silent crowd of entities drifting in a thin haze. Every entity in the gathering was turned in the exact same direction. Their attention was locked on a single distant point, the physical Earth, radiating a hushed, collective anticipation. The entities were not acting. They were waiting. This cosmic silence signaled that a monumental sequence was already in its early stages on the planet below. The sheer scale of the audience raised a central question: what event on this planet could demand the attention of millions of non-physical observers? Perspective shifts 50,000 miles from Earth to the Moon, where immense, solid gray conical vessels hang motionless in the dark. These craft are physical, though their origins remain outside Monroe's point in time. This oscilloscope trace monitors the energy radiating from the vessels. These are deliberate, intelligent patterns actively monitoring the surrounding space. These readings indicate a rare convergence, several distinct energy fields arriving simultaneously. It is a mathematical conflux occurring only once every 87 million years. The guides describe this energy as a catalyst that forces human consciousness toward a threshold. Success would mean humanity emerging as a unified, radiant intelligence. Failure would lead to a slow, permanent fading from existence. The observers will not intervene to ensure success. If human consciousness cannot survive the pressure of the convergence, the guides will simply begin the process again on another world. Tipping the scales toward survival requires a highly specific intervention on the surface. To accomplish this, Monroe recruited an associate he knew only as BB. They descended to a green pyramid structure beside a quiet pond, meeting a forceful, chaotic resistance. Inside, a man lay on a cot in a state of sharp, radiating distress. Using a specific energy technique, BB pulled the man's translucent form from his body. Once separated, the man declared he desired only to serve humankind. The guides issued a firm command: the man must return and complete the life already set in motion for him. There was no other option. This localized intervention serves as the tactical linchpin for the larger event. Securing this one individual's commitment to his physical life ensures a necessary variable remains in place for the upcoming convergence. Departing, the guides delivered a cryptic reassurance regarding the mechanics of the rescue Monroe just witnessed. They explained a true paradox refuses to exist. Cause and effect eventually resolve into a single, seamless circuit. This intervention in the past mechanically allows the unified year 3000 future to exist. The loop ensures the outcome is already becoming a probability. Monroe was participating in an architectural event where the ultimate consequences and the initial origins act upon one another as part of the same structure. At the edge of the intermediate area, the guide announced that the pattern was complete and faded from view. BB suddenly burst into a loud, uncharacteristically human laughter. He turned and vanished into the glowing entry portal, beginning his own physical human life. Monroe reached for his physical identity and slid back into his body. Lying in his own bed, he recalled the specific details of the rescue, the copper and green pyramid roof, and the man's desperate wish to serve. He realized then that he hadn't just witnessed a rescue, he had participated in his own. Decades earlier, at the very start of his journey, he had been the distressed man on the cot. Monroe's entire life of exploration was initiated by his own future self and Bibi intervening in his past. The paradox had resolved itself. Years later, an older Monroe stands on his sun deck at night, looking up into the clear, star-filled sky. On certain nights, he perceives an eternal song, a massive choir of all human consciousness, gathered for the impending convergence. Every voice he has known is present in that frequency, except one. Bibi is missing, currently living the human life he volunteered for. The resolution of the 87 million year crisis relies on these quiet, individual sacrifices. The future is built not by cosmic intervention, but by the choices of human consciousness.